Hello friends, welcome to the Indian Psychologist. I'm Dr. Jithendra. Today we have a different kind of a video, well mostly an audio. I was always fascinated to understand different religions and what they preach, and I really did not know much about the Sikh religion or Sikhism as it's popularly called. Once I had visited Gurudwara Bangla Sahib in Delhi, and there is a museum there. Outside the museum director's office there was a board saying that you can ask any question to me. So I went in and asked Dr. Surjit Singh if he can tell me what the Sikh religion was and what they practice. He was kind enough to answer me in a detailed way on the various things that they practice and the philosophy behind the religion. I really found it insightful and meaningful, and I really think that this conversation could help a lot of people understand their life. So I am presenting you the unedited version of the complete conversation. Hope this will be useful to you.
You see, in brief, I can tell you the religion. Sikh religion. Sikh religion was started by Guru Nanak.
Okay.
He was our first Guru.
Okay.
Guru means teacher, as you know. So he gave the teaching of equality,
Okay.
peace, love and brotherhood.
Okay.
So to be equal, why we are not equal? The question is why we are not equal. We are not equal because we identify ourselves with some identities which are made by men.
Yes.
It may be religion, it may be caste, it may be nationality, it may be color, it may be your wealth, whatever it is.
Yes.
But we have some identities.
Yes.
And the people who are identified with us, that are ours, and which don't fall in our identity, we are bound to have hatred with them.
Yes.
So I can give you an example. If I identify myself as an Indian, so I will be a hatred with Pakistani.
Yes.
I identify myself as Hindu, I have something to say about Muslims.
Yes.
If I feel that I am rich, that I have some greed with poor. If I feel I am poor, then I have some hatred with rich. If I am white, I hate black. If I am black, I hate white.
Yes.
If I am American, I hate Russians. So it is like that.
Yes.
So our Guru said, don't identify yourself with worldly identities.
Okay.
You identify yourself with God.
Okay.
How? Because God or creator who has created everything. Karta means the creator who has created everything.
Okay.
He has created us with the power of his own.
Yes.
The power which the creator is created, we are part of that. You can and understand this phenomena by as sea. God is like sea, and we are a drop.
Yes.
So the combination of sea is H2O.
Yes.
Drop also considered is H2O.
Yes.
But drop has no capabilities of sea.
Yes.
Sea has many capabilities.
Yes, exactly.
And there are waves, there are storms, there are ships, there are animals living in sea. But drop cannot have any type of capabilities.
Yes.
But when we add that drop into sea,
Yes.
it becomes sea, and all the capability comes in that drop.
Yes.
And when we take out one drop from sea, all capabilities are left there, and drop becomes drop. So we are Atma, one drop. He is Paramatma.
Okay. Jivatma or Paramatma?
Jivatma means one drop, and Paramatma means whole ocean.
Okay.
So God is like ocean, we are like drop. We are separated from ocean, and our main purpose is to go back to ocean. This phenomena is also in the nature. When a drop is separated from the sea with the heat of sun, it falls on mountain in the form of ice.
Yes.
And then it starts melting there. But when it melts, and its main purpose is to go back to sea.
Yes.
So that is why when a drop melts, it starts flowing. That is why every religion of the world say you should pair collectively, because one drop for moving fast, it is difficult for one drop. When many drops are collected, then a small stream becomes, then a mountain river, then a big river, then a Ganga, and it is easier to go to sea. Yes. But the main purpose of drop is that I have to reach sea. So the main purpose of our Jivatma is to go back to Paramatma. Okay. And this is our motto. And for that, we have to identify ourselves with the God. Okay. If we identify ourselves with the God, and I feel that I am a Jivatma and you are also a Jivatma, and you are better than me. Okay. That also I should have in my mind, that I am not better. Okay. You are better than me. That then I will have love, respect, and brotherhood with you. Okay. So this was his main purpose. So to achieve this motive, he gave 3 rules. Okay. Rule number 1, that kirt karo, naam japo, vant ke chhupo. First of all, your earning should be honest. Okay. You should not cheat anyone. Okay. You should not beg from anyone, and you should not snatch from anyone. Okay. Cheating, begging, snatching is banned. Otherwise, whatever you earn, that is your honest earning. Whatever you earn, you share with others. Don't donate. Because if you give, and then there will be a person who will take. So giver is bigger and taker is smaller. Then again classification. But when you share, then there is no classification. You can share with your brother. So you share with others and always remember God. This is Kirt Karo, honest earning. Naam Japo, remember God. And Vand ke chokko means whatever you have, you share with others. If you have money, you share money with others. If you have power, you protect weaker section. If you have knowledge, you share your knowledge. So this is first concept. Second concept was that I am awal Allah noor paya. कुदरत के सब बंदे एक नूर ते सब जग उपजा कौन पले कौन मंदे. God has created us with His own power, so no one is good, no one is bad, everyone is at par. This is second concept. And third concept.
Nothing.
Then third concept is to achieve these two bigger concepts, you should have two things. One, you should have knowledge. But if you have only knowledge, no physical power, then you can be a coward. What happened in India? There were many saints. We were very knowledgeable persons. We have 4 Vedas. We were way ahead of all of this universe, all of this world. We were very ahead. But what happened? We left at the time of Ashoka, and with the influence of Buddha, we left fighting. We left our weapon, and we became only saint. So we became coward. We became weak. So if you have only knowledge, no power, you can be a coward. And if you have only knowledge, only power, but no knowledge, like the people who came from West, they have power, but no knowledge, then you will be a cruel. It is definite that if you have power, no knowledge, you will be cruel. You will misuse your power. So a real person should be neither coward nor cruel. What he should be saint soldier. So the third concept was Sant Sipai. You should be saint in your heart, and you should be soldiers with your arms. So if you are saint, you will not misuse your power. If you are soldier, no one can misuse your knowledge. If you are saint, knowledgeable person, you will not misbehave with anyone. And if you have power, no one will dare to misbehave with you. So the appearance of a Sikh is like saint. He has long beard, he has long hair, he is like saint. But he carry his weapon, he is a soldier. So we are a combination of saint and soldiers. And then the biggest enemy of this land was the caste system. It was meant for very beautiful thing. The caste system was based on the principle that the growth of engine, as you know, the economics revolve around development and production. So the nuclear of growth was manufacturers and service providers. Today also, where the wealth is generated, at the manufacturing sector and the service providing sector. So manufacturing on those days were of two things. One was agriculture manufacturer and industrial manufacturer. Agriculture manufacturer means farmer. Yes, please. Or industry at that time was of 4-5 things. One was porters. Who make pots, and then were weavers, then were cobblers, then were goldsmith, blacksmith, these type of people, boatmen. So they club all these people in one bracket and said this is the main source of income. They are the nuclear of the society. So they work. Thank you.
हमारा काम चल गया.
They work on 2 things. Number 1, talent, which they have, and number 2 is concentration. If you have talent but you will not concentrate, then your talent will not work. And if you have only concentration but no talent, then also you cannot produce beautiful things. So these people are based on talent and concentration. So we have to protect their talent and their concentration. For that, Manu, a big rishi, he gave a concept that the son of cobbler should be cobbler, the son of weaver should be weaver, the son of goldsmith should be goldsmith, son of blacksmith should be blacksmith, so that the talent will flow genetically in the generations. You understood? The third thing is they should not worry about other things which will disturb their concentrations. They should focus on their talent only. So they should not worry. Why they were worrying? They were worrying, as you know today also. You ask any manufacturer that what is your, how you split your manpower, he will say that 40% is in production and 60% is in marketing.
Yes.
You know that
Yes.
every factory has 40% people in manufacturing and 60% in marketing. So it is, don't worry about your marketing. Your marketing will be done by a set of people who will call Vaishyas. Their main purpose will be to buy goods for everyone and sell them to everyone. And they will manage the financial system. They will manage the wealth. They will manage the money. And they will be Vaishyas. Then you should not be worried about your protection. Who will protect us from the animals, wild animals, for many animals, and from the robbers? Who will protect us? So there will be a set of people whose main job will be to protection, to give you suraksha. Suraksha means like umbrella, chhatri. So they were kshatriyas. They will protect you like umbrella. So a set of people they were kshatriya. And you will not go to school at that age of 3 or 4 because that is the time when you will learn your talent from your father. So if you go to school, you will not learn your talent. So who will do my intellectual needs? Who will read and write for me? You said there will be a set of people whose main job will be to read and write, to read all Vedas, to get knowledge from the Vedas, and they will distribute knowledge to whole of the society. This one. And this system worked very well in this country. For that reason, we were number 1 in world. We were the bird of gold, Sone ki chidiya, because the weavers were number 1. We have silk, we have malmal, we have cotton. We were number 1 in that. We were number 1 in diamond work. We were number 1 in gold work, in iron work. Any craft, India was number 1. And we have very good system. But as you know, with the time, all system gets corrupted. So this system also got corrupted. Corruption starts at the level of Vaishyas, traders. What they did not give full price of the manufacturing. A person came with, suppose this thing that I want to sell this. The cost price of this good was 1 rupee. So he should get at least 6 rupees or 5 rupees of this because 1 rupee was his initial cost. 1 rupee was his profit. 2, 1 he will give to trader. 3, 1 he will give to protector, Kshatriya. 4, and 1 he will give to the Brahmin to get knowledge. So at least he should get 5 rupees. So every section of society will get 1 rupee and they all will be equal. But what happened? He said, no, I cannot give you 5 rupees for this because I cannot sell it at 5 rupees. I will give you only 2 rupees. Or 1 rupee 50 paisa. So he reduces his margin. But he sold this thing on 5 rupees. But he did not pass total amount to the manufacturer because he, as you know, there are 3 powers: money power, muscle power, brain power. So by default, the society was divided into 4 sections. One sector got money power, which were Vaishyas. Second sector got muscle power, which was Kshatriyas. Third sector got brain power, which were Brahmins. So the bulk of people who were talented had no power. So as physics law, where there is no power, the power presses that place. So these 3 collectively presses these people. And they reduces the margin, so they become poor. When they become poor, they were not able to live a lavish life. Then what happened? The protectors, with the time, became rulers. The persons who were there to protect them, they started governing them. They started making rule for them. They became kings. They became rajas. They started collecting heavy taxes on their own will. So it is like that. I have kept a watchman at my doorstep to protect my house. He became so powerful that he started governing me. He said, you will not go out after 6. You will come before 4 and you will not pay me 200. You will pay me 2,000. So he started collecting heavy taxes. In a way, he started snatching from the people, poor people. So now they become very poor, very poor. They were not able to even eat in a proper manner. So the third sector, where they have to go to obtain knowledge by giving some money, they had no money. So they felt that we don't want any knowledge because we have no money. Why we will go to Brahmins? So they stopped going to Brahmin. Now Brahmin was very worried. He said, Vaishyas are taking their share. Kshatriyas are also taking their share. We are not getting our shares. How we will pursue them to give us money? So they started giving them false knowledge in the name of God. Instead of giving them real knowledge of Vedas, they gave them false knowledge made by themselves to collect money from them. For example, if a cat was killed by someone, he said, "You killed a cat." You say, "Yes, a cat was very holy animal." Now what happened? Now you will go to hell. So they made two concepts, one hell and one heaven. Hell means everything bad. There people are cutting you, they are torturing you, they are snatching, everything was bad. And in heaven, everything is very good. They give you beautiful liquor, they will give you beautiful food, everything is there. So they made concept and they said, "We are here, wholesale dealers, we will send you to whether you want to go to hell or you want to go to heaven." So he said, "You will go to hell." He said, "How can I protect myself from going to hell?" He said, "Do one thing, donate, make a cat of gold and donate to someone." To a poor person? No, to Brahmin. "So your father is dead?" Yes, sir, my father is dead. "So he will go to hell. How I can save him?" "You donate a cow." "To whom?" "A poor person?" No, to a Brahmin. So they started begging in the name of God. And these people become very poor. When they became very poor, they started living dirty. When they started living dirty, they started smelling bad. So from here, untouchable things started. When they started smelling bad, so when they came to Vaishyas to sell their product, Vaishya said, you please don't enter my room, because after you go, after 2 hours also there is smell of you. You please don't enter my house. You give me all the goods at my boundary wall. From here the thing started. Then they said, "You live dirty, so you should don't touch our well. You live dirty, you should stay in the north of the village, so that your air should go that way. Wind should not come to our side." This started, slowly they started pushing them, and the thing became so severe that at the time when Guru Nanak came, these set of people who were talented, who were the main source of income, were treated like Shudras, means very bad. Not even human, subhuman, or like animals. They said, "You should beat drum, so that not by touching you, by seeing you, we will get polluted. So we will turn our face and you will go from there. You can't enter temple, you can't touch my body, you can't touch my water." Everything was there. So Guru Nanak said, "No, this system was for bad. Now it has been polluted. This corruption has come in this. Now there should be a new system that you should club them. Because if you will take side of one sector, then he will have hatred for other three." So he said, "Don't hate anyone, you should club all fours." So we are combination of four. First thing, you should have knowledge. You obtain knowledge from, he gave us a book of knowledge that I will tell you later. You take knowledge from that book, you take worldly knowledge, so you are a Brahmin. That is your main purpose, that you should have knowledge. So you are Brahmin. Then you keep your weapon, you protect yourself, you protect others, then you are a Kshatriya. You do your business, you do your Vyapar, you are Vaishya. And you serve people, you clean their shoes, you clean their plates, you are Shudra. So now we consider ourselves 4 in 1. We are Brahmin, we are Vaishya, we are Kshatriya, we are Shudra. We have no hatred for any sect of people. So this is the main concept of Sikhism. And the part which is sharing, he said you should share maximum. But if you can't share maximum, 10% is compulsory.
Okay.
That we call daswan. Daswan means 10th part of your earning.
Okay.
That you should share. And with that sharing, we do 4 things. Number 1, free food for everyone. Every Gurdwara, there will be a big kitchen where anyone can come. We don't ask their name, their religion, their caste, from where they have come, what is their language, nothing. You come, if you are hungry, have food. 3 times a day, we serve food to everyone. That is one. Second is shelter. If anyone can come, have no place to stay at night, we give them place to stay for 2-3 days, he can stay. Number 3 is medicine. We have a hospital in this hospital in Gurdwara also, and in every Gurdwara, whether it is in Madras or whether it is in Bangalore, you will get this. You will get medicine. And 4th is education. Education from Holy Book and education from worldly schools, colleges also are run by Gurdwara. So we give these 4 things: food, shelter, medicine, and education. So to give 2 things, number 1 was knowledge and number 2 was power. Our Guru Nanak, he was our first Guru. He, after his old age, he transferred his knowledge to second person, and then second person transferred it to third person. And like this, we had 10 Gurus, living Gurus. Okay. And 10th Guru, he put that knowledge into a book which is called Guru Granth Sahib. Okay. How it was written? First 5 gurus, they gave us knowledge.
Okay.
Knowledge of this world. And they collected knowledge from all over this subcontinent.
Okay.
All learned persons, whether it was Rahim, Kabir, Jaydev, Namdev, Farid, whosoever it was, they collected their good thoughts and they compiled a big book.
Okay.
5th Guru. From 1st to 5th, 5 Guru, they compiled a big book and that book is called Guru Granth Sahib. Now it is our living Guru because 10th Guru put power in that book. So we consider that book our Guru, and in the early morning we open that book. It is called Prakash and we read at random from any page. A message comes which is called Hukamnama, means the order of the day, and we try to spend that day accordingly to that message. Otherwise also, if you have any confusion or any question, you can go upstairs, open the book at random, read, and you will get the message. So this is one part of the religion. Then 6th Guru first time took weapon as defensive weapon.
Okay.
And the name of the weapon was given Kirpan. It is assembly of 2 words, Kirpa plus An. Kirpa means mercy.
Okay.
An means self-respect. So you can use this weapon only for giving mercy to someone or to protect your self-respect. It is not a cruel weapon.
Okay.
You can't use it as a cruel weapon. You can't. All the wars in this world are fought for 3 things: Zar, Zoru or Zamin, either for land or for wealth or for women. These are the main cause of all wars. So you will not use this weapon for these 3 things. It is only to protect someone or to save someone, not to kill someone. So this weapon they give. And 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th Guru, they gave us power, knowledge, training and how to fight back. So 10th Guru, when he thought that everyone is ready, so he gave us a oath which we called Amrit, holy water, sweet water, and he said, now you consider yourself as a army man, but the army of God,
Okay.
not of any worldly person. So Akal Purukh ki Fauj. Akal Purukh means God and Fauj means army. So when we meet each other, we say Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, which also means that Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa means we belong to God, and Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, if we get some victory, that also belongs to God. Because if a soldiers win, ultimately who wins? King.
Yes.
And if soldiers loses, ultimately who loses? King.
Yeah.
So we are, as we consider ourselves soldier of God, so our victory also belongs to God. We don't fight for our own victory.
Okay.
So this is the concept, and that is why we carry weapon. That is why we don't cut our hairs, and that is why we believe in brotherhood, peace, love, and equality.
Okay. Great. Why don't you grow the beard and?
The thing is, one is that you should look like saint.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is, that is more interesting, that our Guru said that you can't see creators.
Okay.
We cannot see creator,
Yeah.
but we can see his creation.
Yes.
Creation we can see everywhere.
Yes.
So the creation of God is image of God.
Okay.
If you want to see God, you see his creation.
Yes.
If you want to love God, you love nature.
Yes.
If you want to respect God, you respect nature. And if you want to obey God, then you should obey the laws of nature, because in nature there are some definite laws.
Yes.
Law of motion, law of gravity, whatever laws there are, all science is of God. Na?
Yes, yes.
God has made all science and all laws,
Yes.
which never changes.
Yes.
They are definite laws. So you should obey the laws. Now it is one of the nature's law that there will be beard on man's face.
Okay.
Women don't have beard.
Yes.
So what we try to do, because we love women and we feel that women are very beautiful, so we try to make ourselves like women. It is our, as you know, the psychological. It is the psychology that we should resemble like them. So we shave.
Okay.
But nature says, I am very strong.
Yeah.
Hairs come back again.
Yeah.
We shave again, they come back again. We shave again, they come back. Whole life we are shaving every day.
Yes.
Every day are coming. One day
Yes.
person dies.
Yes.
He cannot shave. But here comes to dead body for 2 days. So our Guru said, don't fight with the nature.
Okay.
Don't have a conflict with the nature.
Okay.
Obey the laws of nature as they are coming.
Okay.
If hairs are coming, let it be. If they turn grey, let it be. Be as natural as it is possible.
Great.
So that is why we don't cut our hairs.
What is actually Gurudwara? What is
Gurudwara means, Guru means teacher. Gurudwara means place where Guru lives.
Okay.
Because we consider that our holy book is our Guru now. It is our living Guru. So wherever there is a holy book, that place is called Gurudwara.
Great. Yeah.
Hope you liked this video, and hope you have gotten a new perspective on human life. I really found it insightful. Please do share this video with your friends who might find this video helpful. If you would like to receive more videos on psychology from an Indian perspective, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video and have a great time.